Greetings and welcome to Glitched Out, Episode 7, The Force Awakens. I don't know. The podcast done by fans for fans of everything nerdy in gaming. Joining me this week, once again, it's Israel Pacheco.
That was a good one. I wasn't expecting the Episode 7, The Force Awakens. That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing this week, man?
I'm doing pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Big weekend. We had Comic-Con come and go.
Yeah, it's mixed emotions weekend, definitely.
But anyways, there will be more to talk about Comic-Con on the other podcast, Static Screen.
Cheap plug.
Yep. So yeah, today we've, of course, we've got our been watching section. We've got our news, some really sad news, some really good news. We have our topic of the week. We may or may not have questions and comments. It's going to be a show, that's for sure. So let's start this off as we do every week, aside from the awkward intro, with our been playing section.
Wrong podcast.
I've been watching too much shit, man.
Yeah.
Alright, so our been playing section. What have you been playing?
I got 3 games here. One I've mentioned in the past, and that is Lego Jurassic World. I have finished up the campaign for Lego Jurassic World, since that's, they have all the movies in there. And I'm going through The Lost World right now, so it's still super fun. I love all the stupid jokes that they make, about the movies. If you've played the Lego games before, you know what to expect about this. And if you're a Jurassic Park fan, 100% pick this up because it's super fun. I'm having so much fun with my little brother. Right now, it's like within my top 5 games of the year, because it's really been a blast, and I've been having a great time. Like going through all the different movies and telling my brother about the movies and the little inside jokes and stuff. So
Nice.
Excellent. And the next one I have here is another one that I've spoken about before, but I haven't spoken about in a while. I don't even think on this show. Maybe when we started this one, I don't remember if I had spoken about it, but that is Splatoon on the Wii U.
Okay.
I have sold all my physical Wii U games, but I rebought some of the ones that I still wanted to play digitally. So I bought Mario Kart 7 and I bought Splatoon, and since I don't have any of my data, it's pretty much restarting from the beginning. So I decided to jump into the single player, and it's really, really fun. It's pretty short. I think I'm like a quarter of the way through it from what I've seen, but it's really fun. I like the boss battle that they had at the end towards the end of this first quarter of the missions that you get to play, and it's really fun. I'm looking forward to hopping into like the online again and seeing all the new stuff that they've added since I last played, which was probably like a month or more ago, and their big August update is coming out pretty soon. So definitely recommend Splatoon if you got a Wii U. Definitely check it out. And then the last and final game, it's also a game that's on your list, and that is Rocket League on the PS4. I really just hopped into this to capture footage for the latest gamer culture, and then I actually ended up playing it a little more, and I enjoyed it. It seems like the game that I go to now if I'm just not in the mood to like play anything like story-centric or anything that requires like too much of my attention. So I'll just hop in, I'll play a few rounds in the season mode that they have. I haven't tried the online yet, but the season mode's so fun. So far has been pretty fun. I think there's like 27 weeks or something like that. I think I'm on week 8 or 9, so I'm about a third through that, and it's been pretty fun so far. I'm happy we got this as one of the PS Plus games of the month.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that pretty much wraps up what I've been playing this week. Looking
Nice.
forward to playing God of War Remastered. Comes out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the Batman DLC comes out tomorrow. So some good stuff to look forward to this week.
Nice, nice. Yeah, like you said, I've also been playing Rocket League quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I see you're trying to go for the platinum.
Yeah. It's going to be a fairly easy platinum, just a lot of grinding for 3 of the trophies.
Mhm.
Collect all items, drive for 500 kilometers, and there's one other one too, unlock all cars. It's
Mm.
grindy, but it's easily possible because I've been playing a ton already, so
Yeah.
I'm going to keep playing either season modes. I've only been doing the short seasons, though, only 9 games, so I might...
Oh, okay. I didn't notice like there was a difference. I just
Yep.
like hopped in and I just left it on like whatever it was, the standard settings. So,
hmm Yeah, you can switch that around to do shorter
oh,
seasons
okay.
if you want. But
Hmm.
yeah, I've been playing a ton of that. That game is so simple, but so much fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
when I first heard about it, I honestly thought it was stupid. I'm not gonna lie, but then you play it and you're like, wow, this is incredibly ingenious. Like, why hadn't they done this before? And they have done this before with their,
hmm
super-powered rocket, whatever that long-ass title was
It
for
was
their previous game.
it was supersonic acrobatic rocket powered battle cars.
Okay, so I'm happy they shortened it to Rocket League, which that's way better.
Yep. And it was very smart of them to release this as a free PlayStation Plus title because it has gotten a lot of attention and people love it like everywhere.
Yeah, I've seen like almost all my friends on my friends list playing this game at least once
hmm
throughout this last week.
Yep. So yeah, that game has been quite awesome. The other things I've been playing, I started up Uncharted Golden Abyss. Mainly,
Nice, nice.
mainly because I am trying to dedicate this month to playing my Vita a bit more.
Hmm.
So played a little bit of that, not very much. I mean, I haven't even unlocked a trophy yet, so that tells you how much I've played. But
That game is long too.
I've heard.
It's the longest one I think in the franchise, to be honest.
Wow. So yeah, I'll be at that for a while, as well as Tales of Hearts R, which I still need to finish. And the other game I've been playing on my Vita is another one that we got free for PlayStation Plus this month, and that's Geometry Wars 3 Dimensions. And that is a really, really good kind of old school shooter. Uh, can be a bit difficult and tricky at times, but so much fun. Highly, highly recommend if you have a Vita and PlayStation Plus to download this title because it's good. It is really, really good.
I forgot about that one. That was one of the PS Plus games this month.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go download that on
Definitely.
my Vita.
On the Vita. Yeah, yeah, totally, totally cool. But yeah, Rocket League, highly the highlight of my past week of gaming. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. There are a few other things that I want to get back to, as Sleeping Dogs, maybe more Batman, and other stuff like that. But of course,
Mm.
I believe that's going to do it for our been playing section. So we can move on into the news. And Izzy, you have our first story this week.
Yeah. This is some pretty sad news, and that is unfortunately Satoru Iwata, who was the current president of Nintendo worldwide, has passed away due to a complication from a growth in his bile duct, which he had been struggling for some time now. We know last year he had surgery for it, and he actually missed E3 last year. He wasn't, in any of the presentations that they had, like the Nintendo Direct or in person at E3. This year he was able to make it, and this news came out of nowhere essentially. I actually was playing the games that I just mentioned, in our been playing section, and my buddy texted me. I was playing Lego Jurassic World with my brother in co-op, and he texted me. And he's like, Iwata died, and I'm like, what? And then, I thought it was a joke or something, because you know how the internet is, that sometimes they post like BS or they make up rumors, and people in my house are going crazy right now. I don't know if you could hear that. They're playing Nintendo Land, so Iwata would be happy because they play Nintendo Land every day. It's like their ritual, and they scream like mad people. Jeez. But back to the story, I just had to put down my controller. I told my brother, I'm like, oh, we're going to have to stop playing. And he was asking what's going on or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, the president of Nintendo passed away. And, I got kind of, down and depressed because he definitely was one of the most influential people, not only at Nintendo, but in the industry as a whole.
Yeah.
So it was rough, especially where we thought he was in a good space, health-wise. There weren't any indications. He had lost a lot of weight compared to before. He looked, like he lost a lot of weight. Last time we saw him at the, Direct and the different E3 presentations, but we didn't have any indication that, things had gone for the worse. So it really came out of nowhere. It kind of shocked me, and what it made me think of, that cliche of, yeah, you don't know what you have until it's gone, because especially within the last couple years, he has gone through the ringer with people online. And I've been one of those people who has heavily criticized Nintendo and their decisions over the last few years. And I still stand by that, but at the same time, I feel kind of bad because that's a lot of stress and pressure. And when you go into things like this, like they say it's, growth in his bile duct, which is essentially a tumor, stress doesn't help when it comes to your health. So it kind of makes me feel bad that I didn't take those situations, more lightly. Like it wasn't that serious. Like just because I disagreed with him, I never like didn't appreciate his passion for the video game industry, because he was always passionate. He was always very cheerful, very joyful.
Yep.
He had like a quirky personality, but that's what Iwata was, like holding up the bananas, in the E3 Directs or whatever different types of videos that they did, and please understand, like his catchphrase. But yeah, it just makes you think, like, man, it kind of sucks, because I know specifically all over YouTube there was a lot of people who were constantly going at Iwata, going for his head, wanting him to be fired and step down and all these things. And unfortunately, he passed away, and I that just makes me feel personally bad that I talk so much crap, not to the level of other people. Like I never took it personal or anything, but just makes you think, like, man, you don't know what you have until you're gone. And sure, he made some decisions that I didn't agree with, but he was there during Nintendo's most profitable time period. Like the DS and the Wii were both revolutionary. The DS came out at a time where touchscreens weren't all over the place like they are today with, our phones and tablets. And then the Wii came out at a time before the, motion controls had really caught on. That technology had existed beforehand, but it never was really implemented the way Nintendo did it with like Wii Sports. And I know a lot of people look back on the Wii, like they dislike the Wii. I personally don't. I have like great memories with that console. Sure, things could have been handled better towards the end of the lifespan and the life cycle of the Wii, and not being HD and things like that. But that really, it was really a special moment in time playing like the Wii and Wii Sports, and that's what I'm gonna remember Iwata by, by him being so joyful, so cheerful, such a great, ambassador for video games. And yeah, I've been rambling on for like the last 10 minutes.
That's good.
I'll hand it over to you, but this was some pretty sad news.
Yeah, it was quite shocking yesterday when it happened. I was pretty much sleeping throughout the entire day because I was just tired and exhausted like nothing else, simply because of a few early mornings with lack of sleep beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember waking up at, I think it was 1 a.m. last night, and first thing I noticed, my phone was blinking like I had a message, and a friend of mine actually messaged me through Facebook and said, "Sad day for Nintendo." I was like, what? So I went and I checked Twitter, and I started seeing these messages, and I couldn't believe it at first. It was really shocking, because like you said, we had known he was sick, but we didn't know it was this bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was insanely shocking, and I remember seeing one quote a lot of people were saying from Iwata, and it was, I'm going to paraphrase it here, but it was along the lines of, he said, "On my business card, I am president. In my mind, I'm still a developer, or still a programmer, but in my heart, I'm still a gamer." And
Mm-hmm.
that was the kind of person he was, and like you said, he did so much for Nintendo. I remember him taking like a 50% salary cut just so that he could make sure his employees had like job security and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it is a major loss for not just Nintendo, but for the gaming industry as a whole.
Mm.
So yeah, it's a sad time for Nintendo and just gaming in general. We have lost one of the greats.
Yeah, what's even more sad is that he went out during this transitional period.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which I'm laughing, but it's not because I'm laughing, you know, out of disrespect, but it's like it's really unfortunate that
Yep.
he went out during a period when Nintendo's not doing the best.
Yep.
The Wii U's looking like it's going to be their least successful console ever,
Yeah.
and 3DS is on a decline. But you know, in the horizon, they got to deal with DNA with the mobile games. They got to deal with the theme parks.
Mm-hmm.
They got NX around the corner, so it felt like they were in this period where they could potentially, you know, gather steam again.
Yep, and he was responsible for, I think, all three of those things, really, especially the DNA thing. He was the one who got that deal to happen. So over the course of the next, say, 3 to 4 years, we're probably going to see the benefits of the stuff that he is responsible for.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of people will not credit him for this.
Yeah, it's sad he's not going to see, like they say, the fruits of his labor.
Mm-hmm.
Because looking forward, the NX could be another shot in the arm for Nintendo. Could be another revolution like the Wii was. I'm actually very excited about the NX, even if we've been so critical of Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always rooting for Nintendo, but I'm such a fan that I'm even more critical of them, you know.
Yeah.
But this is very sad news.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen the outpouring from across the industry, from, you know, not only us gamers, but developers and, you know, executives at companies. And it was really, really shocking. It was a surreal moment to really think. It just kind of put things into perspective, like, really appreciate what you have, because you don't know what you have until it's gone. And my, you know, thoughts and are with his family, especially dying at 55.
Yeah, so young.
He was young, and you know he left the family behind, and you know all his staff and coworkers over at Nintendo. I saw that quote that Reggie you know put out. I don't know if you've read it, but it was quite, you know, quite emotional than what Reggie wrote, opposed to what Miyamoto wrote, because I don't know if it had to do with the translation or not, but what Miyamoto wrote kind of felt, you know, more like the business thing to say. Like, I don't know if you read that quote either, but he said something along the lines of, we'll still be programming moving forward to in memory of Iwata or something like that. But Reggie got more, kind of emotional with his of Iwata being such a great leader and such a great human being, such a great person. So yeah, it's going to be rough for Nintendo moving forward and see how the company's restructured, and see who takes his place as a president of Nintendo.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of changes moving forward for Nintendo, not only with his passing, but like we spoke about earlier, DNA, NX, theme park attractions, and all that.
Yep.
So yeah, I guess we can move on. It's that's definitely a downer for the week. Some very unfortunate news, but you got to keep it going.
Indeed. All right, so let's bring in a little bit more cheerful news here, and that's Hatoful Boyfriend hatches on PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, July 21st with new content. That's right, the bird dating simulator is finally getting its release on the PS4 and the Vita. I, for one, am very excited about this because I have played this game on PC, and, well, ever since my save file there it went to the birds, to say the very least. Gotta get those puns in. So yeah, I'm personally really excited for this. It's only going to be $10. It's cross-buy. The new content that's coming, it's including a whole new romance option featuring Tori, a character that was previously only appeared in the Hatoful Boyfriend Holiday Star sequel, and was written by creator Hato Moa. So, how do you feel about Hatoful Boyfriend finally getting its release?
I've seen a lot of stuff about this game, and it looks really strange. I kind of want to try it out. There's like this trailer that loops over at work because I work retail, and then like the PlayStation kiosk that they have a thing that loops with different trailers and stuff, and they always have one of like the bird, and they're like, oh, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'm like, what the hell is this bird talking about? And it's like a trailer for Hatoful Boyfriend on PS4 and Vita. It's really strange. Yeah. I don't know what to say.
It's strange, but it's so wonderful. You know what? You should buy this game. I'm going to buy it. We should do a spoiler report on Hatoful Boyfriend.
Oh man, I might get it if it's only $10 and see what the all the hype is about.
Yeah. There's not much to say. You date birds, but there's a deeper story behind everything, which is quite amazing. So, for those of you who are looking at this, just say that's just weird Japanese, give it a chance. At least look up some Let's Plays onto it, because it can get actually quite deep, as weird as it may look on the surface. So I guess with that we can move on into our next story.
Yeah, I was trying to come up with some bird puns, but it didn't happen. Oh, man. So moving forward into some great news, and that is Star Wars Battlefront and Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be, or are going to be, proper English, at Disney 23, which is Disney's yearly event, if I'm not mistaken, where it's pretty much a convention all about Disney. So think Comic-Con, but Disney, pretty much. And Disney Infinity 3.0, Battlefront, and Kingdom Hearts 3 are all going to be hands-on in August, which I don't know how much of this post I believe, because Kingdom Hearts 3, I don't know if that's going to be playable or not, but we'll see, yeah. And they're going to show off some brand new stuff from all three games. Of course, Battlefront's going to be coming out later this year in November. Disney Infinity 3.0 is right around the corner. It's coming out at the end of August. Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out in 2025. because this game's never coming out. But yeah, it's good to see that especially Kingdom Hearts is getting such a push by Disney.
Hmm. Yeah, and I'm wondering, since it's going to be at this event, may we see some Star Wars integrated into Kingdom Hearts 3? It's possible.
Or some Marvel. Huh.
Hmm. Yeah.
Be cool.
Yeah. I would say there's a
No,
higher chance
may-
for Star Wars, though.
Yeah, definitely. But now that they you know, now that they own everything at Disney, it's technically possible. Maybe that's why the game has taken so long to, complete development, because they've been adding all this new stuff. Maybe Indiana Jones shows up in Kingdom Hearts. That'd be awesome. Day one buy
Oh,
if Indiana
definitely.
Jones is in Kingdom Hearts.
Maybe you get a team-up mission.
But yeah,
again.
this is great news for Disney fans, Star Wars fans, Kingdom Hearts fans.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So looking forward to see what these reveals are,
Yeah, it's...
and the feedback from people who get to get their hands on these games.
Yeah. All right, so let's move into our final news story of the week. And it's quite the odd one, if I can say the very least. Street Fighter V has added, surprise, surprise, Ken's going to be in the game. Like, nobody saw that coming. What people didn't see coming, though, is that Ken apparently went on Queer Eye for the straight guy, because he's gotten quite the different look to him now. Yeah, I'll pop up some pictures here on the show, but he's wearing a black uniform now. He's got a brand new hair design. He's basically not a different colored version of Ryu anymore.
He definitely has more of a distinct look compared to before.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here. The article on Gametsu reads, the redesigned Ken fights differently from Ryu as well, employing an array of new abilities, including fast-moving, long-range attacks, and uses an aggressive, in-your-face fighting style to unleash flashy combos and deal big damage. His V skills will allow him to extend combos or to step back to create distance. His V skill, Quick Step, Ken runs towards the opponent, crossing the distance in an instant. Ken can also choose to step kick or input another attack closer to the end of his run. His V trigger is called Heat Rush. Ken channels flames through his entire body for a short period of time, which powers up his special attacks by increasing their number of hits and improving their trajectory, allowing him to perform even more damaging combos. So yeah, how do you feel about this redesigned Ken? Because personally, I'm like, I'd rather have him look like the old school Ken, just because it's it's
Yeah,
bit
Street
classic,
Fighter.
Yeah.
I personally don't mind it. I like his new hairstyle. It does remind me of kind of like the older Street Fighter Alpha Ken models, where he had the longer hair.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different from that even, and now he has like a different outfit. I did watch the footage of his new like the fighting system that he has, and I think it's cool. So they're trying to make it more distinct from Ryu, and he does look a lot more aggressive. And I always like to use Ken, especially in like previous Street Fighter games, over Ryu. And I like the new aggressive look that he has. I personally like it. I can see what you're saying though. Like the Ken is definitely one of the OGs of Street Fighter, and his design was pretty classic. But I like that they're kind of taking a chance on this, and he looks different. But what's funny is though his outfit looks like some from Tekken though. Like it doesn't look Street Fighter esque to me. It looks kind of. I'm looking at some of the like concept art here, and it reminds me of like Jin from Tekken in a way. But yeah, good stuff. I'm looking forward to checking Street Fighter 5 out in the beta later this month on PSN.
Oh yeah, I forgot you got that.
Yeah, pro tip, pre-order from Amazon where you don't have to pay a dime for your pre-order and get your beta access that way, which is what I did because I was originally just going to buy the game on PSN, the full game. I was like, oh, let me just pre-order it on Amazon. I don't have to plop down all the money now. So that works for me, and then I'll cancel it right after I get the beta code access.
That's our easy pro tip for the week then.
Yep.
Before we end off the news here, I just noticed something else on the PlayStation blog, which I wanted to mention. We actually spoke about this game on last week's program in our highest rated games of Q2 of 2015, and that's Crypt of the Necrodancer. No release date yet, but it's coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita. I just thought it'd be kind of amusing to mention that we're actually getting that on PlayStation 4 and Vita.
Oh, that looks pretty cool.
Yep. Alright, so with that out of the way, we are going to move into our topic of the week. As I mentioned at the beginning of the show, Comic-Con happened this past week, or last weekend by the time this show goes out. Lots of interesting stuff, lots of cool stuff. Not to mention, both of us have played a shit ton of Batman. And Marvel actually said that, they want to do more games and that they're going to do more games. It's just a matter of the time and the quality, because that's what they want to do now. They want to put out quality games. They're going to come, probably not anytime soon, but eventually. And I am referring to console games because they are putting out some pretty good games on PC and even mobile right now. So that brought up the topic of question. So, with this in mind, what games from them, or DC, Vertigo, Dark Horse, etc., would we like to see? So, what hero or heroes, what type of game, and what developer would we like to see develop these games?
I guess Spider-Man would be like the easiest choice because he's one of the icons from Marvel Comics, of course, and he's had a mixed track record in recent memory when it comes to games. I thought Shattered Dimensions was a good attempt to try to bring back Spider-Man into gaming, but there was definitely some issues with it. I never played the sequel, which I heard was pretty subpar. Edge of Time, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like to see Spider-Man make a comeback. What type of game? Well, that's kind of obvious. I guess the whole open world, New York City. Maybe it would have like different boroughs besides just having Manhattan. Like maybe you could go to like Brooklyn and Queens and things like that. It would be cool if you could go, across like the 5 boroughs of New York City. I don't know how massive that would be and if that would be an issue. But in terms of a developer, the only one I could think of would be like Sucker Punch because they have a track record with open world superhero games with the Infamous series. So can't think of anybody else off the top of my head in terms of developers. Can you think of anybody else besides Sucker Punch?
For a Spider-Man game?
I'd go crazy. Give Spider-Man the Platinum games.
Oh man, we get some Japanese.
Spider-Man game by Platinum Games would be nuts.
Oh,
that's genius. I pick Platinum Games over Sucker Punch, even if it's like just a linear Spider-Man game. That'd be nuts. Oh man.
Deep Silver could probably do it as well.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good team because they've done Saints Row and Saints Row, right? Yeah, that
Yep.
would be.
Well, they published it. I'm not sure exactly who
Yeah,
the developers were. Can't remember.
yeah, and Techland did Dead Island, so and they're
Hmm.
up, I guess, the Deep Silver banner. So,
Yeah.
hmm, it'd be interesting to see what a developer would take on Spider-Man.
Hmm.
Go back to NeverSoft. They were disbanded or NeverSoft.
Bring them back.
Oh,
Um, well, the one that came to my mind first and foremost that I would like to see get a game, or another game anyway, is The Punisher. Uh, kind of like the same way with Spider-Man. Well, yes and no for an open world game. I think for The Punisher I'd probably like a little more linear type game. Yeah,
story centric.
exactly, yeah. More story centric. Maybe kind of like Arkham Asylum, like a closed area. Maybe like go Judge Dredd route with it, where you're in one building working your way from the bottom floor right up to the top floor, that sort of deal, which would be, I think, really good for the Punisher. Um, but yeah, just a brutal, violent, over the top kind of action game with him. And as for a developer, even though, they've worked on, they're owned by Warner Brothers now, I believe, and they've
Yeah.
only done superhero games, I'd like to see Rocksteady tackle the Punisher in that kind of way. Um, yeah, I think those would be really great. Um, as for some other types of heroes I'd like to see, I wouldn't mind, seeing another team-up type game, kind of like another X-Men Legends game, which I think would be really cool. Um, I don't think I'd want to see another fighter, though. Just we've
Yeah,
seen too many of those in the past.
yeah, and yeah, the only way I'd like to see like a Marvel versus Capcom game would be if they go back to 2D art,
Mm-hmm.
but that's never gonna happen.
No.
So, um, I'm trying to think of another superhero that I'd like to see.
A Deadpool dating simulator game where you can go around and date pigeons.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of other developers beyond Rocksteady,
Mm-hmm.
because anything dark and gritty, Rocksteady would be like the people to make it. But
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see somebody do a Blade game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Rocksteady once again. I guess it'd be a boring discussion if we just keep bringing up Rocksteady over and over.
Mm-hmm.
A Blade game. I'm trying to think of who makes like dark.
Well, how about a developer who hasn't done much yet? I think they've only done one game, really, and that's Monolith, the guys who did Shadow of Mordor.
Oh yeah, that'll be um that'll be interesting to see. Trying
Mm-hmm.
to think, looking through some you know superheroes, Marvel superheroes here. I already got Spider-Man out the way. That's so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'd say Iron Man, but I'll use Platinum Games for Iron Man instead.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause, oh,
They
that'd
could
be
they could do it
oh
like the Iron Man anime.
yeah. Think of like a mix of like Vanquish meets Bayonetta.
Oh,
Oh man, with Iron Man, that'd be freaking dope.
oh, that would
Just
be
just
cool.
give Platinum Games like a superhero game. That'd be awesome, man.
That definitely would. There's so many heroes they could really tackle.
Oh
Um,
man, Iron Man by Platinum Games,
mhm.
Bayonetta meets Vanquish. I'm down with that. Um, give Wolverine to Sony Santa Monica, and just make another like God of War inspired game like they did. Like who was it? Raven, right?
Mhm.
That did the last Wolverine game, which is actually really fun.
Mhm.
I really like
Oh,
that game.
how about this? Those developers, but instead of just Wolverine, give them an X-Force game where you have Wolverine, Deadpool, Psylocke.
Oh,
Uh,
oh, cool, yeah.
trying to think of the other, Phantom X. was another character in X-Force. Give those guys that game to do. Dark, gritty, bloody.
That'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's like the only people that I could think of off,
Yeah.
off the
Wouldn't
top
even
of my
mind
head.
seeing
But
Sony Santa Monica do a Wonder Woman game. I think that would work as well.
oh yeah, since they have their hands with the mythology,
Mm-hmm.
Wonder Woman. I'm trying to think of like developers and what games would fit to those developers. Um, huh. Trying to think some Naughty Dog could do, but I can't think of anything what the character would just be like shooting like.
Give them a either Hawkeye or Black Widow game.
Maybe. Trying to think. Yeah, I can't think of it. Sony Santa Monica would be good too for Thor. If they did a game that takes place in Asgard.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, so the possibilities are pretty much endless when it comes to these Marvel characters. I really hope we see more stuff from them because back in the day, like there was a lot of good stuff. There was like the Spider-Man games on PS1, PS2. Then there was the X-Men Legends, which I've never played, but I've heard have
so good.
been very well received. Wolverine by Raven was actually really fun. I played that game like 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
It's about the only time where a superhero game was better
Much
better than the movie it was based on.
It really was much better. It was so fun. Let's see what's beyond those the Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which are pretty much like the X-Men Legends games, right?
Yep.
Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2 from back in the day. I'm thinking I'm thinking of X-Men in general. What developer could take on that? I'd like, honestly, if you had to pick one character from Marvel to have an outstanding game that's like an Arkham series type of game, not necessarily it has to be that style of game, but I mean that's like as well regarded as the Arkham series, which character would you pick? Or which group of characters? Because Spider-Man has had his time to shine in the past.
Yep.
And
yeah. I'm still kind of biased. I'd say the Punisher.
Yeah. I never played that game that came out. I heard it wasn't that great. That came
the PlayStation 2 one?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, that one was so fucking good.
It was?
Yes.
Really?
That game is awesome.
Well, I need to check it out then.
Definitely, yeah. That game was great, man. Highly recommend that one. Simply because it was so over the top and funny. You could torture people and whatnot in that game. It was actually really fun. Let's see. Arkham style game to be well regarded just using one Marvel character. If I had to go with anything and just say a game that would sell for Marvel just based on the character alone, maybe Captain America.
I think that could work as a brawler style game.
Mm-hmm. Because he's basically, Marvel's Batman, but without all the toys.
Yeah. Or just, here you go, the Daredevil route also.
Yeah.
We didn't even bring up Daredevil.
Yeah, Daredevil could easily work, too.
Now I have the damn theme stuck in my head.
Oh, going back with Sony Santa Monica again, they could easily do a Ghost Rider game, too.
That'd be cool with chains and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that'd be perfect. Yeah, I don't know. There's just so many possibilities, and I'm hoping we get something on the level of the Arkham series, from Marvel at least. I know you also have here Vertigo and DC Comics, which I guess we could get into a little bit. Batman's already had his time to shine. I know people want a Superman game. I don't.
I want to fly through more rings again, damn it.
I want more fog. In terms of the DC slate of characters, it'd be cool to see a Green Lantern game because they could do stuff in space with like the Green Lantern Corps. That'd be interesting to see in terms of the DC stuff, and then like independent comics. We've already had stuff for Walking Dead. I'd like to see something Walking Dead beyond the Telltale games that's actually, decent, not the garbage shooter that Activision put out.
Yeah, isn't somebody working on?
I believe they are. I believe
the guys who did Payday.
Yeah, they're working on some sort of Walking Dead game. Other independent comics. I don't know, like I guess since I'm such a big fan of Batman, I'm like already, I'm not like clamoring for this stuff. I want to see it, of course, but it's not like, maybe if we were talking before Arkham Asylum came out, I'd be like, Batman, please give me a good Batman game. But that's already come and gone, and they delivered a fantastic series, so.
I wouldn't mind this. I know they've got a lot on their plate now, and they're doing a Marvel game in 2017, but I wouldn't mind to see Telltale tackle a few more properties. Maybe Fairy Tale would be a nice one for them to do.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I don't know. I don't know. Like my top three, I guess, would be like something around the X-Men, where you could play as multiple characters and like switch perspectives. That would be really cool. Then beyond the X-Men, probably Blade, some really dark and gritty, very, very violent, I would have to say. Then the last pick would probably be Spider-Man, I guess, because I'm a fan of Spider-Man, but we've had good Spider-Man games in the past, but nothing in too recent memory.
My three would be the Punisher. I'm with you with the X-Men idea. Something like that would be awesome, especially if they used X-Force. Other than the third one, let's go with a DC property. Maybe a good Flash game.
That'd be interesting.
It'd be something different anyway.
We need an Aunt May game.
Aunt May's
done by Rockstar Games presents Aunt May before she was an aunt.
Aunt May's cooking simulator.
Oh man, that'd be too much. Aunt May game by Rockstar Games. She's secretly Trevor's mother. That's how they tie it all back. Oh man, that'd be one hell of a game.
Now that you mention Rockstar, how about they do a Jonah Hex game?
That'd be interesting.
Because they got the Old West style already figured out. Just Red Dead Redemption, Jonah Hex.
We can make a Wild Wild West game. Wiki Wah Wah, Will Smith. Wiki Wah Wah West. Keep this desperate. I'm not gonna get into my rap. You go straight to the... I just got completely derailed.
Oh boy.
Jeez.
Oh, well, I do believe that's going to wrap us up for a record time-related show.
I think we're about, 40-something minutes?
Yeah.
Woo!
Because we've got no questions and comments. At least I have none via Twitter.
Let me check real quick. Probably have nothing either. Nope.
Okay. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up for another episode. Guys, if you got any questions and comments for us, please leave them down below. Just making a little note here as well. The podcast is actually going up on SoundCloud now as well.
Nice.
At least some episodes are for the time being, because I only have a normal account which only allows me to upload 180 minutes, so roughly just 2 shows a month at the moment.
Okay.
Maybe more in the future if I decide to upgrade my account to a pro account.
Wow.
But yeah, you can find the podcast there as well. Just a little promotion for both of us. You can check out other stuff on our channels. Izzy, of course, has videos every week for gamer culture and spoiler cast, which may or may not be up by the time this episode goes live.
Hell nah. No, it should be up later this week. I need to record that Batman footage.
Cool. So yeah, please go check those out as well. They've been awesome so far. And,
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to do it. So, Izzy, please take us out.
So this week we're sponsored by Wild Wild West now. Will Smith. So thanks guys for checking out the show, listening to us babble on forever about Marvel video games and all that stuff. Let us know in the comment section down below what you thought of this show, any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns that you might have. It was, a pretty sad week with the passing of Satoru Iwata. And let us know in the comment section down below, what are you guys' thoughts on that situation? What are your favorite Iwata memories? That'd be a good question to ask. So, as always, for Lord X, I am Izzy, aka Israel Pacheco 89, and we are glitching out. Wiki wow.